Andoni fitness could have been the best, but he chose not to. He could have been a top bodybuilder or powerlifter. He was given a gift that has been wasted. In today's video, I'll discuss Andoni, what recent years have been like, his achievements, and his significant wasted potential. I'll analyze it and share my opinion for those who don't remember. Andoni, also known as Andoni Androloni, is a fitness personality we have here in Spain. He's 1.87 meters tall, weighs 100 to 120 kilos depending on the season, and benched 200 kilos. At 19, what's up with that? He has also performed impressive feats, such as incline presses with 75 kilo dumbbells and military presses with 60 kilo dumbbells. He turned 23 on January 3rd. Yes, the kid is 23, but let's go back. On July 6, 2019, he made his first Instagram post. At 16, he already had an amazing physique, and please don't say he was on steroids at that age. This is a combination of training for several years and exceptional genetics. If I'm not mistaken, he started at 14. It was clear that Andoni was a genetic marvel. He kept getting more viral and famous on TikTok, posting dances and shirtless photos like many teens. Unfortunately, he still does this today. He kept evolving more and more, achieving an absurd superhero physique before the age of 20. But on October 17, 2022, when he was only 19 years old, he bench pressed 200 kilos with an athletic physique, without being bulky, and without being dedicated to powerlifting. Simply by doing a couple of sloppy training plans, just like you guys have done, 200 kilos on the bench at 19 years old. I'll say it again, the first attempt he failed, and already fatigued, he tried again and succeeded because he had the strength. What he was missing was technique and practice. What could he have achieved by today? In 2026, if he had kept bench pressing with structured training and competing, I'm more than sure he would have reached 250. Importantly, I add that supposedly he's natural. He has defended his natural status all this time and supposedly hasn't taken any chemical substances, which hasn't been proven. Andoni is a genetic marvel. He has huge hands, nearly size 50 feet, is 1.87 meters tall, weighs 120 kilos, has abs, is supposedly natural, 19 years old and benches 200. If he had competed in powerlifting as a junior, under 23 years old, he would have set a new Spanish record and probably a world record. And if he had continued with this, he would already hold several world titles in powerlifting, even if it was just in a single lift. Bench press, unfortunately, he didn't continue with it. 2 years later, he tried lifting 200 kilos again, but it was still almost as difficult. He made no progress. Since that last attempt in 2024, he hasn't lifted 200 kilos again, or even come close. He hasn't improved since 2022. After more than 3 years without progress in the bench press, I think he should have continued to maximize his pressing potential. He could have achieved a lot. And now, let's get to the topic you're most interested in. Bodybuilding, the physique. What could he have achieved? Well, to speculate about this, let's see. He competed and won in natural bodybuilding at 20 years old on May 7 and June 3, 2023 in classic physique. Despite his young age and limited experience, he competed in the AECN, a Spanish natural bodybuilding association. They did a urine anti-doping test on him, and no, Andoni, it wasn't a false positive. He tested negative. I've talked many times about his natural status, and I've always given him the benefit of the doubt. I've featured bodybuilding on the channel for 3-4 years, and I've followed both natural and enhanced bodybuilding for more than 8 years. I've been seeing genetic wonders on the internet for many years, and while I'm not saying Andoni is natural, I give him the benefit of the doubt of being one of those exceptions. Even though it's hard to believe, let's assume he was natural, okay? At 20 years old he had this physique, but he wasn't that shredded and didn't have that much leg size either. To what level could he have taken his physique if he had continued preparing for bodybuilding, whether natural or enhanced, if this was natural? We're talking about arms over 50 centimeters, like 55 centimeters, plus that physique, ribcage, and waist. If he had spent 3 more years on bodybuilding and building muscle, I think he could have been a natural world champion today. If this were the International Federation of Bodybuilding and Fitness, he would definitely have gone pro. Just look at today's amateurs who turned professional. If Andoni Fitness had turned pro, he likely would have competed in Classic Physique or Open and might have even won and qualified for the Olympia. I think Andoni had a potential for bodybuilding, whether natural or optimized, that we can't even imagine. A guy who weighed 120 kilos with abs in the off-season just for fun, and for the event he weighed 80, 87 or 100 kilos shredded. Andoni could have embodied power building, which seems to be forgotten. A blend of bodybuilding and powerlifting, combining aesthetics with significant strength. He could have made history in powerlifting, and above all, he could have made history in bodybuilding. And now let's talk about what happened, why he didn't follow this path, why he didn't do it. Well, I think there are several factors. The first and most important is his free will, being able to decide to do whatever he wants, doing whatever he feels like. If he wasn't motivated to compete in bodybuilding and just tried it out, he doesn't have to keep doing it. If he's not motivated to get up on stage in a thong in front of thousands of people, he doesn't have to do it. If he's not motivated to train. Training hard for powerlifting and dealing with everything it involves is fine. He doesn't have to do it. Call it lack of ambition, interest, or just his preference. That's it. It's unfortunate that great talent and a gift like Andoni's sometimes lacks strong ambition. Let's discuss the next factor. A young guy who, let's be honest, became a millionaire fast. He has chosen to focus full-time on being an influencer, promoting his image through constant posts and photos. It's pretty cringe, maybe for a younger audience, like TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube videos. Assuming he's an ideal content creator, his image and brand are highly eye-catching. He has 3 million followers. He's one of the most followed in the Spanish-speaking world. He has contracts and collaborations with several sportswear and supplement brands. He often works with Hispanic influencers his age, such as Tomas Massa, Carlos Belcast, and Daddy Aioli. He has also worked with Spanish YouTubers like Joan in areas beyond fitness. Like GREFG or eBay, he has taken part in the Event of the Year, a major entertainment event organized by eBay with millions of viewers. Andoni just seemed to prefer the influencer lifestyle as a content creator working with brands, making money, traveling, filming, joining events, collaborating, and enjoying a more relaxed fitness routine. I think all of that is great and there's nothing to criticize, but we can still say he wasted his talent and could have gone much further in competition and sports. But he's 23, so maybe he'll start winning everything in powerlifting and bodybuilding. Actually, I don't think so. Looking at the path he's on, I really doubt it. He hasn't added a kilo to his bench press in years, and his physique doesn't seem to be improving or has basically stayed the same for years. And to top it off, he's ruining it. With tattoos, and I'm not saying that's bad. Some tattoos are wonderful and look really good. Who knows, maybe I'll get one someday, but I don't think 18, 19 or 20 is the right time to decide. If you want to get a full sleeve covering up all the muscle that's going to be with you your whole life, and that you'll regret when you're 30 and have a more mature mindset, and things are clearer in life, my advice, if you want to get a tattoo from the moment you first think about it, wait at least 5 or 10 years. Yes, I know it's a long time, but what's the rush? If you're under 25 or 30, I honestly suggest not getting a tattoo. Your future self will thank you for it. Why am I talking about tattoos? Well, because in bodybuilding they have an impact, quite a big one, especially if you have them on your forearm. The classic school planner is on the last page. That's fine since it doesn't really impact judging much. A full sleeve up to the shoulder hides the shoulder striations and the definition of the biceps and triceps. That side can't really be judged since the muscle is hidden under a layer. Tattoos no, because you can cover them with dye or makeup, but they'll never look the same. Coincidentally, bodybuilders don't get tattoos in those areas or don't have tattoos. Why is that? Well, that's why. If he wanted to focus on bodybuilding, it would have a big impact, but I think this proves he doesn't plan to do so. He'll probably keep getting more tattoos and covering up his physique even more. In conclusion, Andoni Fitness was the chosen one. He had a gift, a great talent for bodybuilding and strength. He chose not to take advantage of it, which is fine. He tried but lacked motivation, ambition, or interest, so he took a different path. Well, that's his choice, and I think he has a great present and future. I consider him very successful and likely happy. We'll end the video here. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.